A real kick in the pants for creativity, this one is.
It is. It really gets you thinking about, those little habits, those playing it safe habits that might be holding us back from living a life we, actually love.
Yeah, like reconnecting with that spark we all have, the one that maybe, got kind of dimmed along the way.
Right. Reigniting it to go after those big dreams we might have shoved in a drawer somewhere.
Exactly.
And the cool thing is Jarvis doesn't just talk about, taking risks. He gives us a real framework.
Mm-hmm.
These 7, he calls them levers, that are like tools to understand ourselves better and really take action.
Yeah.
He even starts with this story about himself. 2nd grade,
Oh, yeah.
bursting with creative energy, putting on magic shows, even trying stand-up comedy.
I love that.
And then someone tells him to focus on better things, right? Have you ever felt that kind of pressure? Like someone's trying to squeeze you into a box?
No, all the time. It's so common. And it often leads to that whole playing it safe thing
Yeah.
that can follow us forever, Suddenly you're picking the safe job, the predictable relationship, always going for the comfort zone instead
Yeah.
of the exciting but maybe scary unknown.
Right. And Jarvis is saying that can lead to regret, a life that feels, I don't know, unfulfilled.
Exactly.
So that's where the 7 levers come in, like keys to unlock those doors we've closed on ourselves.
Exactly. And the important thing to remember is these levers aren't steps, in order. They're more like resources to tap into whenever you need them.
I like that, like a boost.
Yeah, a new perspective.
Mhm.
Or a little courage to break free.
Okay, let's unlock some potential. What's the first lever he throws our way?
He starts with attention, and this one's huge. He's saying that our attention is like a superpower. But we're constantly being bombarded. Social media, news overload. It's like our attention is being shredded.
Tell me about it. Some days I feel like I'm just reacting to notifications all day long.
Right, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And Jarvis compares this scattered attention to the power of focusing on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings up Viktor Frankl,
Oh,
a
wow.
Holocaust survivor who even in that unimaginable suffering chose to focus on finding meaning, purpose.
Yeah.
Powerful reminder that we always have a choice. We can choose what we focus on.
That is heavy, but incredibly inspiring. So even then, in the worst situations, we have the power to choose where we put our attention. And by doing that, we actually shape our reality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so attention check. What about the second lever?
This one might throw you off a little. It's time, but Jarvis doesn't see time the way we typically do.
Wait, how can time be anything but limited? We all have 24 hours, right?
Right, but he introduces this idea of time billionaires, people with 31 or more years left. So by reframing time as this huge landscape, you shift from scarcity to abundance.
So instead of constantly feeling pressured by deadlines,
Mhm.
you zoom out and focus on the bigger picture, the long game.
Exactly. It's about aligning your actions with a vision, something meaningful, something that really excites you long term.
Yeah.
He even tells the story about a guy named Brent Underwood, left a high-powered career to restore a ghost town.
Restoring a ghost town.
Cerro Gordo.
Okay, that is not playing it safe.
Yeah.
But I get it. I see how focusing on something that big and meaningful could change how you see time.
It's about recognizing we have more time than we think we do, and we can spend it on things that really matter to us. Now, the next lever's a little more intuitive.
Let me guess.
Intuition.
Yeah, you got it. Jarvis is all about reclaiming that inner voice, that gut feeling we're always told to ignore.
Yeah. We've all had those moments where we just sense something's right or wrong, even if we can't explain it.
Right, and he illustrates this with the story of Chesley Sully Sullenberger.
Yeah. The pilot who landed that plane on the Hudson went against protocol, trusted his gut in a crazy high-pressure situation.
Yeah, sometimes our intuition knows things before our brain can catch up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know what you're thinking. It's risky to rely on gut feelings all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's where the next lever comes in. It might seem a little counterintuitive. Constraints.
Constraints. How can limitations help us live more freely?
Think about it. Sometimes having too many options can be paralyzing.
Mhm.
Jarvis says that limitations actually boost creativity. You have to think differently, work within the boundaries to find new solutions.
It's like those cooking shows. They give the chefs like a weird basket of ingredients and they have to make something amazing.
Exactly. And Jarvis differentiates between external constraints,
Mm.
like a budget, and self-imposed ones,
Yeah.
like choosing to work within a specific creative challenge. He uses the example of Stefan Sagmeister.
Oh, yeah, the graphic designer.
Yeah, yeah. He uses constraints to jumpstart his creative process.
So by setting boundaries, we're actually expanding our possibilities.
Hmm.
Like saying yes to constraints can lead to a bigger, more innovative yes overall.
Now you're getting it. It's about challenging those assumptions about what's possible and seeing limitations as opportunities for breakthroughs.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these levers, they work together, each building on the last one.
Yeah.
But this is a lot.
It is.
Can we take a break from all this serious self-development stuff? Can we inject some fun into this deep dive?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because guess what the next lever is?
What? All right, now we're talking. But
Yeah.
but wait, how does play fit in with never playing it safe? Isn't it, the opposite of being serious and focused?
Jarvis actually argues that play is essential, like fuel for creativity, for fulfilling life.
Mm.
When we play, we're in a flow state, totally immersed, experimenting without fear of judgment. That's where real innovation happens.
Yeah.
And joy.
So it's about bringing back that childlike sense of wonder, curiosity. I love that.
He even separates games into two types. Finite games, where there's a winner and a loser, and infinite games, which are played for the pure joy of it, like a never-ending game of Calvin Ball.
Calvin Ball. No rules, pure imagination. I'm in.
And to illustrate this, Jarvis talks about Novak Djokovic, the tennis star, rediscovering his passion just by watching his family play for the fun of it.
So it's about tapping back into that pure joy of doing something for the love of it.
Wow.
Without the pressure of winning.
Exactly. It's about remembering the journey itself can be the reward. And that brings us to a lever that might make some people uncomfortable. Failure.
Oh boy, failure. Isn't that what we're supposed to avoid at all costs?
Jarvis challenges that. He says, see failure not as a setback, but as a crucial part of learning. Growth. It's about reframing so-called failures as valuable feedback, like stepping stones to success.
Okay, but how can we embrace something that feels so bad?
He emphasizes that most successful people, they've got a long list of failures behind them. It's those failures that help them learn, adapt, achieve even greater things. He even uses this concept of the second arrow, that additional suffering we inflict on ourselves by dwelling on past mistakes. Like we get hit with one arrow, then we shoot ourselves with another one.
Ouch, yeah. Powerful analogy. So it's about learning from those failures, letting go of the judgment, and using those experiences to move us forward.
Exactly. And it leads us to the final lever, the one that ties everything together. Practice.
Practice makes perfect, right? But I have a feeling Jarvis has a more nuanced view on this than just mindless repetition.
You're right. He breaks practice down into three pillars: fundamentals, identity, and mindset. And he talks about mastering the basics, but also aligning your actions with who you want to be and cultivating a growth mindset.
So it's about showing up consistently, embracing the process, focusing on improvement, not just in our skills, but in who we are.
He shares some amazing examples. Stephen Curry, Yasmin Lari, Joshua Roman, all achieved incredible things through dedicated, intentional practice.
Yeah.
It's a great reminder that practice isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about the transformation that happens along the way.
Okay. We've covered all 7 levers: attention, time, intuition, constraints, play, failure, practice. It's a lot to take in, but I can feel those mental gears turning, assumptions being challenged.
That's just the beginning. Jarvis goes even deeper, sharing stories and insights that bring all this to life.
I'm ready for more. What else is in store for us on this journey of never playing it safe?
Well, that's what part 2 is all about. We'll explore some of Jarvis's most vulnerable moments, including what it really feels like to achieve success. And we'll meet someone who embodies the never play it safe spirit in the most incredible way.
I can't wait. Let's take a quick break and then jump right into part 2.
So we left off with Jarvis getting really personal, talking about selling his company, Creative Live, and the surprising emotions that followed.
You'd think that level of success would be pure joy.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there was more to it.
Yeah, it wasn't the deal itself. It was this emptiness afterward, like hitting this huge milestone but not feeling fulfilled.
It's like that filling the whole idea. You reach the destination, but you realize you were on the wrong train.
Exactly. He was chasing external validation and kind of lost sight of what really mattered.
His values.
Yeah. Made him reevaluate everything, what a fulfilling life really meant.
It's a good reminder that success, the kind we're told to strive for, it doesn't always equal happiness.
Right. We have to define success for ourselves on our own terms.
Yeah.
And to show this idea of living by your values, Jarvis introduces us to someone incredible, Paul, a young photographer from Kenya.
Okay, tell me about Paul.
His story is about resilience, determination, and belief, like unwavering belief, even when things are tough. He dreamed of being a photographer, but his reality was so far from that.
What kind of challenges did he face?
Imagine this: poverty, limited resources, constant pressure to take a safer path.
Yeah.
But Paul, he had this burning passion. So he takes this huge leap of faith, travels all the way to New York City to go to a top photography school.
Wow. Leaving everything behind to chase a dream. That's brave.
It wasn't easy. Being a foreigner, a person of color, he faced prejudice, obstacles, things that could have stopped him in his tracks.
Yeah.
But Paul, he didn't just survive, he thrived. Combined his talent with pure dedication, pushing himself way beyond his comfort zone.
His story is so inspiring. It makes you realize that the obstacles, they're just part of the path.
And this is where the 7 levers come to life.
Yeah.
Paul focused his attention. He worked within the constraints of his situation, trusted his gut, saw every setback as a chance to learn. He understood that failure, it's not the opposite of success, it's a step towards it.
A living, breathing example of never playing it safe.
And it doesn't end there. Paul achieved his dream, became a successful photographer. But he didn't stop there. He went back to Kenya, used his success to start a photography school, helping others follow their passions.
That's amazing. He used his own journey to lift up others.
It shows that never playing it safe, it's not just about personal achievement, it's about making a difference.
Creating a ripple effect.
Exactly. It's about aligning your actions with what you believe in, using your gifts to make the world a little bit better.
However you can.
Yeah. And that brings us to a key takeaway from Jarvis's book. It's never too late. It's never too late to start living a life that's true to you. It's about breaking free from those beliefs that hold us back and recognizing the power we have to shape our own reality.
Choosing courage over comfort.
Right.
Passion over predictability. Trusting that the journey, even with all its bumps, will get us where we need to be.
And as we go deeper, I want you to think about this. What's that little voice inside you saying? What dreams are you putting on hold? What's one tiny step you can take today to start playing a bigger game in your own life?
Those are some powerful questions. And in the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore how to use those 7 levers in our daily lives to face challenges, unlock our creativity, and create a life that truly feels like our own. Okay, so we've got these powerful levers, inspiring stories, but how do we actually live this never play it safe life every day? It's easy to get pumped up listening to all this, but then, reality hits.
That's the big question, isn't it? And Jarvis doesn't just leave us hanging. He gives us real ways to use these ideas in our lives.
So it's not about making this huge sudden change.
No, not at all. It's more about noticing those little ways, the ways we've been, I guess, trained to play it safe, and then gently, pushing ourselves a little bit towards something more adventurous.
Can you give an example of that playing it safe training? Sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it.
Think about the messages we get about success. It's always follow this path, good grades, stable job, climb the ladder. But that doesn't always make people happy, does it?
No, it's like we're all given the same map, but we're trying to get to different places.
Yeah.
So people end up feeling lost.
And that focus on what other people think, it can really drown out that voice inside us, telling us what we actually care about. We end up choosing security, comfort over passion, purpose.
Right, so how do we break free? It's like these invisible bars.
Jarvis reminds us that we can rewrite the rules.
Yeah.
Remember the levers. They're not just ideas, they're tools to break down those limitations.
The one I keep thinking about is intuition. Like learning to trust that gut feeling,
Yeah.
even when logic says play it safe.
That's where the real freedom is. Having the courage to follow your own path, even if it leads you somewhere unexpected.
But what about when we mess up? When we make the wrong choice? It's hard to not let fear hold us back then.
That's where failure comes in. Jarvis doesn't just say embrace it. He turns it into something positive, part of growth, Important feedback that helps you improve.
It's like those video games. You got to die a bunch of times before you figure out how to beat the level.
Exactly. Each failure is just a chance to learn, to adapt, to get to that next level. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about what you learn from it and how you use it to grow.
So instead of beating ourselves up over those mistakes, we ask, what did I learn? How can I use this to move forward?
And remember that second arrow idea. Don't add more pain by dwelling on it. Learn from it, move on.
This is starting to feel less like never playing it safe and more like playing smarter,
I like that.
using those failures as stepping stones to something better.
Exactly. And this all ties into practice, right?
Right.
It's not about being perfect. It's about constantly getting better.
It's like a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. Takes time, you gotta be dedicated. It's messy.
And remember, practice isn't just about a skill, it's a mindset. It's that belief that we can always learn, evolve.
This whole deep dive has been eye-opening. We really do have more control than we think, don't we?
We do.
We're just along for the ride. We get to choose our own path, learn from our mistakes, and create a life that feels right, true to ourselves.
And as we wrap up our look at Never Play It Safe, I want you to think about those 7 levers again. Which one speaks to you? What's one small, brave thing you can do today to start playing a bigger game in your own life?
Powerful stuff. And remember, Jarvis reminds us it's never too late to step into that arena and create a life you love. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Never Play It Safe. We hope you feel inspired, ready to unleash your own creativity.